October, we had 12 inches of rain that prevented us from getting into the field. And so we were actually looking for the driest field to get into harvest. But then eventually we had to wait until the ground froze before we could finish. And usually we're done by the end of October, but this year it was December 13th. I remember it well. And we were finishing up in the snow and freezing temperatures. But that season, I realized that blogging was much more than just throwing up pictures on the internet. If I hadn't started that blog, I wouldn't have documented the friends coming out, harvesting the neighbors' crops for the widow. I wouldn't have the picture of my combine in the field with snow on it. So that's why I'm passionate about blogging. It's telling our farm family legacy to future generations. And that's why I chose to start farmandwife.com. It is a website dedicated to helping other farmers blog and tell their story. And that's all I had to say. If you have any questions, I would. Okay, my husband, I produce a podcast for him. His website is farmandranchcountry.com. He podcasts about farming, farm policy, ag business, and I put it up on the web for him. Well, you're right. They have a website also, a blog. I completely forgot. They have a video blog about that's called kidscattle.com, and then I don't know if we have Graff Land and Livestock. That's our farm blog and website. Yes.
With your kids, what is the farthest away that someone has responded to them with curiosity as to what they're doing, what they're blogging about?
On the kids blog. No, there's a lot of interest from California. My husband, on his podcast, someone in Scotland actually videotaped himself driving down the road with his podcast on the radio, in his car, and he put it up on YouTube, and that was just hilarious. I didn't ever expect that. But he gets comments from Africa. There was some comments from there, and Australia too. Yeah, this is just all us. I'm on the internet. Everything's Farm and Wife with an N, and so I'm on Pinterest.
And be sure to repeat the question because we're
I'm
streaming
sorry.
live, so people won't be able to hear that from the audience. So if you do that, that'd be great. Thanks,
Thank
Judy.
you, Deb. Was there any other questions? Yes. I started farmandwife.com. I believe it was June was my first one. He was Paul. He was in Missouri. And then there's probably about 25 featured farmers I have on my website. What I do is I send questions to the farmer that actually has a blog, especially new bloggers. I like to get them noticed. And I send them questions, they answer them, and I put their picture and the answers to the questions about how they blog, what the problems they have with blogging on the website. So they get a little boost there, and they get to answer questions for other people, other farmers that are wanting to blog and think they don't have enough time or it's too hard or too difficult. And then I also put on their information about specific details about blogging. And I realized, Deb, I did not repeat her question for you. Yes.
Okay, I got to just say one quick thing, because where's Paul? Is he still around? He's being interviewed. As a city boy from New York, I went out and was a reporter in Dickinson, North Dakota. And the biggest myth of all, for all the social media gurus that tweet and watch it on Ustream, farmers are the biggest early adopters of technology ever. Ever. So talk, just talk a little bit about how farmers adopted GPS long before.
Oh, sure. Last year, actually, when we bought that combine, that we had a new GPS program on there dealing with our maps going through the field. And I had a question on how to run it, of course. And so I tweeted out, I said, I can't figure out how to flag this field. And Aaron Bobeck from Indiana tweeted back and said, you know, this is how you do this, this, and that. And he goes, if you have questions, just, you know, take a video of it. And of course, I took a video of what I was trying to do, and I said, look, I put a flag up on there. And so, yeah, that was, we do the GPS with that, and then I was just amazed about being able to tweet my questions, because actually my dealer wouldn't help me out. Any other questions? Yes. Pinterest. Mm-hmm. Yes, the question was about Pinterest. Yeah, I just actually started that with I probably have 7 boards on there. And what I do is with my biggreencombine.com, the theme lets me put big pictures up there, and I put the Pinterest pin where you can pin it to somebody else's board. And I'm always amazed at how many people will repin that. And I also have one about ag business infographics that I like. I like infographics, I'm very visual. So I have a board on infographics for ag business, and a lot of people like that. I get repins on that about every day. Yes? She wanted to know how many farmers in the audience. Looks like about 10, 15. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Lawn and vegetable gardens, yes. Especially in the front yard. Thank you.